In this series of 4 videos, I'll be going through the reading questions for Paper 2 of the GCSE English Language exam with AQA. This is an exclusive practice paper that cannot be found anywhere else, and new papers are always essential to build resilience and confidence. Please note that this video or any others are not advertisements or endorsements for any places mentioned for the purposes of education, and that I am not affiliated with any locations, events or places referred to. If you are eager to revise Paper 2 Question 5, then please check out videos 45, 46 and 47, which are all about non-fiction writing and how to write effective articles. The link to this article can be found in the description box below, and it was published in 2011 and written by a writer called Alex Plim. For this video, we're looking at Paper 2, Question 1, Identifying True Information. If you know the exam paper well enough, you'll know that the examiner gives you 8 statements, 4 true statements and 4 false statements, and you have to select the 4 true ones. Those statements are included on the right-hand side of the screen, and the article that we have to read, or the part of source A that we have to read in order to complete this task, is on the left. To complete this task, you will just need to write down 4 letters on the right, which correspond to the 4 true statements. So Alex Plim in source A writes, "When I heard I was to partake in a falconry session during my stay at Peckforton Castle, I can't say the prospect compelled me to dash outside and embrace the nearest stranger. How interesting, I wondered, could a bird really be? My scepticism lasted only until the first feathery blur appeared on my outstretched wrist. Then I felt like a child who had just discovered Play-Doh. To see these creatures up close was fascinating. Their feet wrinkled like a grandmother's fallen tights, jacket of feathers fanned like splayed playing cards, and astute eyes steadfastly piercing their human perch. I'd have been happy to study a pigeon in this much detail, but Danny the falconer introduced Alfie, his golden eagle. He is one heck of a bird, and I couldn't help but wonder what might happen if a bunch of these guys settled themselves on the electricity cable outside my house. A few hours earlier we had arrived at Peckforton Castle via a maze of country lanes. As we rounded the final corner, our eyes stumbled across the hotel's brooding arched entrance, along its slender Gothic windows and down to its parched moat, and for a brief moment we were Hermione and Ron, arriving for our first term at Hogwarts." So, after I've now read that, please look at the statements on the right-hand side and write down the 4 letters that correspond to the 4 true statements. Pause the video now, and then I will give you the answers in a second. And here we have the answers. So the correct answers are C, E, F and G. So if you're doing this paper from questions 1 to 4, following these videos in order, then give yourself 4 marks. So I've also highlighted in the extract on the left why those statements are true based on what the writer says. And you can see each letter is in brackets to show you. So rather than saying why is it true, we can see why it's true, it's in red, but why is A false, for example? Well, he didn't remain unimpressed with falconry. He was unimpressed to begin with, but then quite liked it once he'd seen the bird. B often trips students up. Danny is not the eagle. Danny is the name of the falconer. So again, be careful with that. The name of the bird is actually Alfie. D is false because it's not in a city, and a metropolis is a city, so it's not in the city centre, obviously it's in the countryside. And H is false because he wasn't always excited to see an eagle. He was actually quite bored, I think, of the prospect of it at the beginning, when he said he didn't really look forward to falconry sessions. So this is all about Peckforton Castle. It's about clearly establishing this kind of country feel to it. Falconry shows, I think, are much more popular or common in the country than in the city. So this is typically what question 1, paper 2 will ask you to do. You just have to read a section of source A and select 4 true statements. So continue to watch the next video where we'll be going through paper 2, question 2.